You are listening to The Last Hand, Book 8 of the Nadia Wolf Series, written by Nicolette Pierce. Copyright 2018. Audio copyright 2025 by Pierced Heart Publishing. Digitally narrated with full cast of voices. Chapter 2. When I returned to Frankie and Mark's, the morning light twinkled on the horizon. Remy had let me stay at the casino a little bit longer, posting a guard right next to my table. Unfortunately, the play had fizzled, and I was forced to either return home or throw money away. To my surprise, both Frankie and Mark were awake and in the middle of a quarrel. Well, the quarreling didn't surprise me. I tried to navigate past the warring couple, however, they caught me.
Tell him he's a fool,
Frankie demanded.
I'm the fool?
Mark questioned.
What about you? The whole idea for the extra room is ridiculous.
I didn't want to get in the middle, yet it seemed I had no choice. Frankie tucked his arm in mine and ushered me to the kitchen where coffee was brewing. The delightful smell tickled my senses, making me want to have a cup. But I had been told I had to greatly limit my caffeine intake. Too much caffeine wasn't good for a baby. As the scent wafted around me, I couldn't help but accept a cup from Frankie. I took a tiny sip and relaxed into a kitchen chair. I wouldn't drink the whole cup, but 2 little sips would be okay. I sighed. This whole baby thing was confusing. I didn't know how much was too much and how much was not enough. They needed more specifics. Like 1 ounce of coffee was okay, but 2 was not. I needed hard numbers, not a ballpark figure. Shifting in my clear plastic seat, I tried to find a comfortable spot. The chairs might look modern, but they were not comfy. The rest of the kitchen was decorated in classic happy yellows on the walls and a light-colored wood for the cabinets.
I'm not going to have a dinosaur-themed chapel,
Mark said.
It's undignified.
Frankie rolled his eyes.
How are we going to be the best if we don't have all themes covered?
Dinosaurs died 1 billion years ago. Let them rest.
Why are you awake so early? I asked, interrupting their bickering.
Early?
Frankie asked.
We haven't even gone to sleep yet.
Well, I suggest you do. You're both probably overtired and are fighting for no reason.
No reason. He's dismissing my idea without even thinking about it. It could have potential.
Potential? What, a caveman dragging his bride down the aisle by her ponytail? Real classy.
I sighed and slumped over the table and instantly regretted it when acid reflux fired up my esophagus. Coffee was now my enemy. I straightened and rubbed my throat. Can you get me a glass of water, please? Mark nodded, hurried to the cupboard and pulled out a glass. While he was filling it, I asked, "Why are you having problems with this one room?"
We have 9 other rooms. All of them have their own themes, but we are stumped on this last one.
Frankie frowned. What are the other themes? I asked, giving Mark a nod of thanks when he handed me the glass. I took a fortifying sip and let it wash away the burn from my throat. I listened while they listed off the rooms, which included a fairy tale chapel, an Elvis chapel, country western Adam and Eve, and several others that sounded quite nice. But they were missing the essence of the original All Celebrities Chapel. I think you need to leave it empty, I said.
Have an unused room? We'd lose money.
Don't leave it unused, but give it rotating themes. Every month you could have a new theme. It could be dinosaurs or whatever you want. They glanced at each other with rounded eyes.
Actually, that might just work. Then we wouldn't get bored of our standard themes.
Mark shuddered.
I don't want to ever be Prince Charming again.
Then who will officiate the fairy tale chapel? I asked. Mark looked the part when he was dressed in his tunic and tights.
We're hiring 2 new employees. It was one of the conditions we negotiated. I don't want to work around the clock with all of these different chapels. It would be insane.
It sounds like you have everything under control, I said.
Almost.
What's left? I asked. Since I had solved one of the problems, I thought I was on a roll. Maybe I could help them out more.
You?
Me? I asked, confused. Both Frankie and Mark nodded. What did I do? I asked.
You made Remy yell at us.
That man is built like a rock and growls like a bear. I don't like when he yells at me for losing track of you.
I'm sorry. I promised him that I wouldn't go anywhere alone again.
He doesn't believe you, he thinks you're going to try something. So from now on, we're going to be your shadows.
I shook my head. No, I'll make sure to stay near Caleb. Frankie tisked.
We already enlisted help. David, Grayson, and Remy will all be over later today to come up with a game plan.
I narrowed my eyes at that, wondering what was really going on. Remy may have yelled, but I doubted Frankie and Mark would care enough to bring the whole gang over to figure out my safety. And when they come over, what are you going to do? I asked.
There'll be security,
Frankie said, and Mark nodded. You called them this early in the morning? I asked. Did you wake them up?
They weren't happy, but once we told them why we were calling, they were very cooperative.
I bet, I said, suspicious.
We better get our beauty sleep before they arrive.
Yes, wouldn't want to have dark circles.
What about Maya? I asked.
She'll be at home.
So, just the men?
Yes, they should be enough.
That was my aha moment. Frankie and Mark didn't give a fig about me. They only wanted an excuse to see the hunky men. You just blew your cover, I said. And I thought you two were in a committed relationship. Mark and Frankie looked at each other with a shrug, and then back at me.
We are.
That doesn't mean we can't appreciate the beauty of the masterpieces.
Frankie smiled.
Masterpieces.
Mark said, grinning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This wasn't good news for me. It meant I had to see Grayson again. I wished the best for Grayson and Jenna, but I didn't want to make it any more awkward than it already was. Just based on my brief encounter with him at the airport, he seemed happy with his new girlfriend. However, to sit in the same room with him didn't seem like the right course of action. But since he was in the middle of this as well, I supposed that he should be involved. I just hoped Caleb wouldn't feel bad about the situation. It would be like me sitting in a room with one of his ex-girlfriends. I would hate that. Since Caleb and I had gotten engaged, not once had he ever looked at another woman, which was sometimes difficult. At large competitions, he was the focal point, and women tended to follow him around. But he never gave them attention. When I remember back to when we were just friends, he never looked at other women when he was with me. Sure, one might have been draped on him, but he was always attentive to me. I wish I would have understood my draw to him sooner. I would have less of a mess to clean. After Frankie and Mark said goodnight, I took a large drink of water and placed the glass in the dishwasher. I then mustered up the courage to talk to Caleb. To my surprise, he was awake and lounging on the bed, reading a magazine. He looked up and smiled, though his dimple was showing, which meant he was upset about something. Or someone. Probably me.
Were you able to fend off Remy?
He called you too? Caleb nodded.
Very adamant that I should keep track of my woman.
I'm sorry he called.
I'm not. It was nice knowing where you were.
Are you mad? He thought for a moment before shaking his head.
No, I'm not mad, but I do think you should be more careful. Remy has a point.
Yes, he has a point. But I can't be cooped up all day and night. The baby has me and my hormones all messed up. I can't sleep, I can hardly eat, and what little I drink gives me indigestion. Sometimes I just need to escape. Sometimes I just want life to return to normal.
Ever since I met you, you've never had any sort of normal life. But I understand. And I don't want you to feel like you're trapped. I also don't want you to think that you and I have to be joined at the hip either. I just want you to be safe, kitten, and whatever that takes, I'll do it. So if that means you want to go to the casino in the middle of the night, let me come too. You don't have to sit with me, you can play at your own table.
I sat on the bed next to him. I have a confession.
What's that?
I played at the low-stakes table tonight. I don't feel comfortable going into the high-stakes room,
It takes time, kitten.
he said, his hand stroking my arm.
We don't all start out at the high-stakes table.
I know, but I thought now that I have money, I'd feel more comfortable there. But I felt like a fraud. I wanted a poker career because I enjoy it. I enjoy the thrill of winning and being on the edge of losing. In high stakes, it's magnified. What if I can only ever be a low-stakes player? What if this is the height of my career? And when the baby comes, what then? I couldn't very well have a bouncing baby on my lap while I played. Would I get a sitter? Or would I stay at home? Somehow, I didn't think that would work out so well. I had already fled the coop tonight.
What are you thinking about? You're frowning.
I have too many questions in my head. He tossed down his magazine and pulled me in closer.
We're in this together. Don't forget that.
I know. There's just a lot to think about.
Stop thinking then.
I laughed. It doesn't work like that,
Sure it does.
he said, placing small kisses along my neck. It felt delightfully warm and tingly. A little cozy, too. I wrapped my arms around him. I don't believe you. Prove it. He smiled.
Gladly.